Hi, I'm Paul Battaglia, and this is section 4.8, Applications and Models. As we finish up the chapter here, we'd like to take a look at all the different applications that you could go through with your class that involve periodic functions. And to do that, I've brought along Gabe and Brittany, and they're going to talk to you not only about that, but some common misconceptions and errors that students make along the way. So, Gabe, we have so much to choose from. Tell teachers what they might want to consider looking into.
Well, there's plenty of things that we can use the trigonometric functions to model, and plenty of applications that we can also use them for. So, I mean, we could start as simple as just solving a right triangle.
Okay.
And then we could get a little more involved and maybe start talking about bearings.
Okay.
And throughout the chapter, they even talk about simple harmonic motion. So being able to model,
so you really go from
these using trig functions.
The level of difficulty, easy to hard, as I guess as much as you feel comfortable with your class. I would say one note about bearings: if you're going to tackle bearings with your class, this is probably very new for students, if not most teachers, and it's not always easy for them to grasp. So take your time with it. I would say if I could give you one pointer, it would be to make sure that the students understand that bearings are working off a fixed y-axis. So that's helpful, I think.
Yeah.
Brittany, tell us a little bit more about some of the either common misconceptions or things that students need to look out for when they're calculating some of these values they need.
So they have to make sure that if they're solving for an angle, that they're using the inverse trig functions.
True. Okay.
And then also, again, when looking at these applications, when they're using their calculator, make sure it's in degrees or radians, depending on what's needed.
And I think, and I think what you'll find, teachers, if you haven't already, is that a lot of these problems, since they are dealing with real life types of things, are probably going to deal with messy numbers, let's say, and so the calculators are going to be appropriate. It's very difficult, I think, to work with a real life model that winds up being very neat, So I think what we would leave you with is this. It really is yours to determine. You have anything, as Gabe said, from easy to difficult. Anything periodic can work. Blood pressure, weather. There's even a carousel as it moves around, or a Ferris wheel. You have just so many different things that you can play with. So feel free to experiment. Feel free to kind of gauge the level of your class and then go with it. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you and that you find much success in section 4.8.